Hi everybody, a very good afternoon to each one of you students. Welcome to the very session. I am Preksha Sharma, your English educator, guys. And students, today there is a news for all of you that we are going to deal with the very poem which is your Fire and Ice, and this is really an important poem from your examination point of view. Make sure that you guys are going to listen to me very carefully. All right, everybody, welcome to the very session, guys. Hi, Arjun. Hello, people. Students, call your friends right away if they need a good explanation for this very particular poem. So, call all of them so that we could actually explain it in a much more better manner. All right, everybody, come on, let's do it. So, guys, I am Preksha Sharma, your English educator, and students. I've done MA in English from Delhi University, and for the past few years, I've been guiding a lot of students to develop their communication skills and to score good marks in their English. So I'm sure that you guys are also going to be benefited with whatever I'm going to share with all of you. All right, so stay tuned for the entire session and make sure that you're listening to each and everything that I'm telling you. Okay, guys, so you know that we have got 10% off on Unacademy Plus. So, guys, go for it. Avail 10% discount and make sure that you guys are making it perfectly clear in your mind that you want to score amazingly good marks in your academics. Okay, so make sure that you are taking the subscription. My code is PSH10. Go for it, guys. All right. And Telegram channel, you know, guys, that you have got this very particular Telegram channel wherein there is your very particular group, which is let's crack CBSE 9th and 10th. So we need to crack it the right way. Everybody, make sure that you have joined this very particular Telegram channel, because here all the educators, all your dear educators, they keep on sharing the updated information and all the information regarding your sessions. So make sure that you guys are there. All right, everyone. And the next thing, what's new with us, guys? Ask a doubt feature. Like, this is one of the features which is really very amazing one, because you can ask unlimited doubts at any time and you will get high quality video solutions as well in both the languages, English as well as Hindi. Okay, and you will receive the exact matches of your questions as well, and you will obtain the instant and accurate solution to lakhs of questions. Like, whatever number of questions you are going to ask us, we are definitely going to provide you the solution for that, and you will also get the assistance with your homework. All right, so make sure, guys, that you are definitely listening to me very carefully. And how are you going to ask a doubt, guys? You will have to download the app in your phone, and step 1 is you have to click on ask a doubt feature. Then step 2 is take a picture or choose from gallery, and step 3 is you have to select a picture of your very particular question, the question which is not clear to you, and step 4 is crop it in order to highlight one specific question, and step 5 is choose the subject that the question falls under. All right, like whether it's maths or science. And step 6 is set tight. All right, we are definitely going to give you the exact solution. And students, make sure that you're posting only one doubt at once and you're not going for multiple doubts in one single image, because that is really problematic. All right, and post clear legible images which are very clear and exact. Okay, and capture all the sub options of the MCQ if there is any, and if a question has any sub part, post them separately and not as a part of the same question, and post printed text directly from a book or soft copy. Okay, everybody, do not try to write it in your language, I mean in your writing. Basically, do not provide any handwritten questions, blurred images, or incomplete questions at all, and post the doubts using Unacademy app only. All right, everybody, this is really important to be understood. All right, and guys, Tanisha, that is going to take place on the channel Unacademy 9 and 10 and not here. I hope that is okay for you to understand. Hi Pragati, hello Arjun, hello everybody. So now Unacademy subscription features, guys. See, what is it? You get to learn live from the comfort of your home, and unlimited access to all the courses would be there. Top educators, highly qualified teachers would be teaching you. Regular doubt clearing sessions would be there. Exhaustive coverage of the entire syllabus would be there. And mentorship and guidance would definitely be given to each one of you. Study material, that is in the form of PDF, would be provided. Practice tests would be there, live test series, and batch courses would definitely be there. So we would have daily practice sessions. Okay, weekly mock test series would be there, live quizzes, daily MCQ, and subjective test series also. So make sure, guys, that you are keeping this in your mind, that how you need to proceed for your better future. All right, everybody. Okay, hi Pavitra. Hello. Welcome to the very session, dear. All right, and then Unacademy subscription prices, guys. See, you have to use my code PSH10 in order to avail what 10% discount. And students, discounts are always amazing. So you guys can go for it definitely. There are different plans. We have plans for 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 13, 18, 24, 36, and 48. All right, you can choose any plan that suits you the best. Let's say if you guys go for what, like if you guys go for 12 months, okay, what is the actual cost? The actual cost is 15,000, but now when you're going to use my code PSH10, the cost would be 13,500. So this is going to be 1,125 on the monthly basis, and this is literally not too much, guys, when it comes to the benefits that you all would be getting. All right, everyone, and iconic subscription features, guys. Like if you want to study with the help of, like, only like attention to be on you only, I mean with the help of an educator who should definitely be giving attention to you only, that is personalized attention, one-on-one interaction if needed, then go for iconic subscription, guys. This is so unique and so very much interesting. All right, everybody, and live doubt solving sessions would be there, weekly reports would be there, we would connect with your parents too, study planner would be there, and all the benefits of Unacademy subscription would also be a part of iconic one. So like there are a lot of benefits, you should be going for that. So students, again, you will have to select the best for yourself. Use my code PSH10 in order to avail 10% discount. Make sure that you guys are going for the best. Let's say if you go for 18 months, the cost is what? It is 35,000, I mean the real one. But using my code PSH10 will give you 10% discount, and this is going to be 31,500. All right, and students, now anyone can become subscriber on Unacademy Plus. All you have to do is that you will have to pay in parts. Now you will have to select the very option of pay in parts in the very payment mode, okay? And let's say, for example, if you go for the amount which is 15,000, you have to use my referral code which is PSH10, okay, to avail 10% discount. And you can pay in two parts, which is going to be 7,500 each, and the next one can be in three parts. I mean if you guys choose three parts, it is going to be 5,000 each. You guys will have to use my code PSH10, and we have zero cost EMIs, which is actually very interesting. So you guys can talk to the Unacademy expert right today. All right, everybody, so 10% off is on Unacademy Plus in iconic subscription. PSH10 is the code. Download the app right today, follow me there on the app, and try all of the features for free by using the code PSH10, and let's crack it the right way. Hi everybody, hello Yashi, a very good afternoon. Hi Path, good afternoon everyone. How are you all doing, guys? We are moving ahead with the description of your poem, which is Fire and Ice. It has been written by Robert Frost. This is really important, guys, that we should know the very title of any poem as well as the name of the given person who has written it so clearly from your examination point of view, okay? And knowing about the author, or the poet, it actually helps you to build a kind of a background for the given poem. All right, guys, so this is important that you should know a bit about the poet, because at times in your value based questions, that is your 5 markers, if a question comes which is somehow related to your thinking and all, then if you are aware of the very background of the poet, it actually gives you a clear kind of like clarity, basically, that this is what you have to write in your answer, okay? Knowing the dates, or when the poet was born, or dead, or when he died, sorry, so that is not really important, but this is only for your knowledge. I mean, this is just an extra added knowledge for everybody out there. All right, everyone, I hope, guys, like you are listening. Students, I request you that you can share the the link of this very particular session with all your friends right now, and you can call them so that we can study together. All right, everybody, let's do it. Okay, and also students, I want all of you to understand the fact that, again, I'm reiterating this, I'm repeating this in order to tell you all that this is not really important that you should remember the very date, but like telling the date. For example, here he was born in 1874 and he died in the year 1963. So this actually gives you an idea that what was the time period and what was actually happening in the very history at the time when he had written this very particular poem. All right, because whatever he wrote, that has some relation to the realistic scenario, as in what was happening at that very particular time. Okay, so he was born in San Francisco, but he later moved to Massachusetts. All right, Massachusetts. Okay, and he was famous for his realistic depictions of locals, identities, and themes of New England. So that basically mean that he was so very much famous for the realistic aspect. I mean, the realistic depiction. The things were so real. All right, like whatever used to happen. Locals is the environment, the atmosphere. Whatever used to happen around him, that used to be there. Okay, and he rarely wrote in free verse. Guys, see, whenever a poem is written, there is always a rhyming scheme, but he had rarely written, I mean, he had always followed the rhyming scheme, but he had rarely, that means that he had written in free verse very, very, very less. So guys, you know this very well. If a question is coming in your examination, what exactly is the rhyme scheme of the given poem, do not at all write that it's in free verse, because you know the background of the poet, that he had rarely written in free verse. That means the given poem has got a rhyming scheme. All right, everyone. Yes, Jai Kishan, that's right. Hi, Bhumi. Hello. So, guys, here the thing is, he has used very simple traditional styles of writing. That is, his style of writing is so simple. All right, he used simple words in order to give you a deeper meaning. There is always a hidden meaning that is lying beneath his simple words. That is the art of writing that he was actually known for. And students, he became the most famous poet of his time and is the only poet to receive like 4 Pulitzer prizes for poetry, which is actually one of the very important prizes. All right, everyone. So I hope this is clear to everybody. Students, this very particular aspect of him, that is that he was famous for writing realistic things, as well as that he wrote only like he rarely wrote in free verse, and he had the simple stylistic of style of writing. This is really important from the point of view of your 5 markers. All right, so listen to me very carefully. Also, students, what exactly is the theme of your given poem? See, whenever we are dealing with the poems, we always need to know the theme so perfectly and so precisely. All right, because these things, they actually form the basis of your answers. You guys are not going to write the answers in just the summary form of the way. All right, like that is not the right way. No summaries are needed in your answers. We need proper explanation. So make sure that you actually know a lot. All right, everybody. Yes. Yes, Bhumi, simple language, that is very right. So, students, although this very particular poem is written in simple language, it strongly talks about what? Destruction. Like the entire poem is only talking about destruction and nothing else. Alright, guys, so make sure that you guys actually understand the fact that what exactly they are going to talk about. Okay, so what is the theme of this very particular poem, guys? See, human desires and hatred are predicted to be the harbingers of the end of the world. So that means that human desires, that is the wants, the preferences, the wishes, the extreme desires, all right, and hatred, that is the hate for each other, hate for the ones who are around you, or hate for your dear and sorry near and dear ones. All right, so these two things, that is your extreme desires, your extreme wishes, all right, your extreme references, preferences, and the hate which is there in your heart, they are predicted as in that they are being foretold. They are told before they actually happened. All right, and they are told to be the harbingers means that anything that leads to a major change. Okay, so these two things, the desires and the hate, they are the actual sources of the major changes that would result in what? The end of the world. The world would be finished. Okay, this is really important to understand, guys. These two things, they actually run in the entire poem. And students, you will see that in the first paragraph, fire, all right, and ice relate to natural disasters. They are natural disasters, you know this, right? We see this, like if there is a lot of snowing, so all these things, they affect your life, right? And if you see that the forests, they are being burned, so that is affecting the life. So they are known as natural disasters. Disaster mean that something which can destroy things. So they are the natural destroyers. Okay, they destroy the very thing naturally. All right, like it is actually the part of the nature. And here they are acting as an asteroid, all right, which is hitting the earth, or the ice age. So you know, when an asteroid would hit the earth is finished, there would be no life. Similarly, an ice age, if you would see ice all around, people, they won't be able to breathe, and there would be no life. So this is what they are being shown as, that they are such natural disasters which would bring the end of the world. And in the second stanza, the poet makes it clear that fire and ice are used to symbolize human traits. What is human traits, guys? Can anyone please tell me the meaning of traits? Yes, guys. Yes, everyone, come on. Yeah, you know it well. That's good. That's good. Okay, so tell me, what is the meaning of trait, guys? Like, we should always be dealing with the meanings so clearly and so precisely. Yes. Yeah, sure, Jai Kishan. I'll do that. Okay. I'll do that. All right. Yeah, Yashi, this is actually a different channel here, right? Okay, everyone. So now listen to me again. Okay, let me tell you the meaning of traits. Traits is like characteristic attitude, as in the qualities, basically. Okay, so here the thing is, in the second stanza, the poet is going to talk about the fact that fire and ice, they are used as symbols in order to talk about human traits, that is human qualities. So fire is working as a symbol to show a human quality. Similarly, ice is also working as a symbol to show what? Human quality. So we see that if these emotions are left unchecked, they can cause disaster. So now the poet is trying to tell in this very particular poem that if we are not going to check these very particular qualities of humans, check here means in order to control them. That is, if we are just leaving them the way they are, whatever is happening with those emotions, then it is going to cause a disaster which would result in the end of the world. All right, and it highlights the self-destructive potential of humanity. This is important, guys, to understand. Here the thing is that it highlights the self-destructive potential of humanity. That is, it is talking about the nature of humans to destroy themselves. For example, if you're angry, you're badly angry, and in that anger, if you hit yourself, all right, because you were out of your control, then it may lead to the fact that you are badly injured, right? This can happen, guys, right? I'm sure you guys know it. For example, if somebody is hitting the another person in anger and the person dies out of that, so that is what, that is resulting in the destructive nature of human. Like, you are destroying yourself, you will be jailed, you will be punished, your life would be ended in a boundary, you would be bounded. So that means the humans, they are so very much self destructive in nature, they have this potential. So here the poet is trying to tell that humans have this like ability, and they are capable of destroying themselves, and this is needed to be stopped. This is what he is actually advocating and suggesting in the given poem. All right, everyone. Yes, are you all understanding this? That the poem overall is talking about the destructive nature of humans, which is completely a symbolism. Fire and ice is working as a symbol for human qualities, for human destructive qualities. All right, everybody. Now, setting and title, which is again a very important thing whenever we talk about any of the given poems, guys. This is really important that you should know how the poem has been set and whether the title is justified or not. All right, everyone. Hi, Muskan. Hello. Welcome to the very class. So, students, here the thing is, see. Now, I hope you all are understanding. Yes. Are you all understanding this? Not that difficult, right? Making sense to everybody? Yes. Yes, guys, come on, tell me. Making sense to everybody? Yes or no? Thank you, Muskan. Thank you so much. All right, so now we are moving ahead with the setting. Okay, Jai Kishan, thank you so much. So, setting and title now, guys. See, the setting of the poem is not specific. The debate occurs in the poet's mind. So, we see that the setting is not particular. There is no scene which is going on in the very background of the poem, which is whatever is actually happening, the questions that are being raised, and whatever is being told to us as readers, that is all happening in the mind of the poet. All right, that is not being told to us. So now we see, now we are talking about, here we talked about the setting, now we are going to talk about the title. The title, Fire and Ice. Okay, students, we always write it in double inverted commas whenever you are talking about the title in particular, so that we are highlighting the fact that I'm not talking in journal about fire and ice individually. Instead, I'm talking about one of the title of the given poems. All right, everybody. Yes, is it making sense to each one of you? Yes, guys. Muskan, just try and understand. You will, all right? It's not that difficult. Just pay attention to whatever I'm telling you. You will understand it slowly and gradually. All right. So fire and ice, students, like these are the two like this is the title, fire and ice. You know, fire is very hot, ice is too cold. So we see the title has got two opposites, right? Now, like there are two opposites, but they are talking about something very major and very, very deep. All right, everyone. So it presents what? It presents two apocalyptic scenario. What do you mean by apocalypse, guys? I'm sure you guys must have seen it in the movies like Avengers and all, right? Have you or have you not? Come on, guys. Have you or have you not? So this is what, guys, apocalypse is like. It is the end of the world, the ultimate reality. What is the ultimate end? That is death. So apocalyptic scenarios means the end, the complete end of the world with no life. All right. So fire and ice is talking about the complete end. It is talking about the destruction of the world. All right. Fire and ice are both capable of bringing an end to the world. This is what we are being told by the given poem. And there are two contradictory elements of nature. I told you fire and ice, they are a part of nature, all right, but they are two opposites. And here the poet has joined two opposites together. All right. So what is fire symbolizing? Fire symbolizes desire, guys. This is really important to understand right now. How does fire symbolizes desire? See, what is fire? Like once you see fire in the forest, all right, it doesn't stop. It always wants more and more and more, right? Similar is the case with your desire. Like when you desire for something, then you desire for the another thing. Maybe that thing is of no use to you. For example, if I'll tell about an iPhone to all of you, for example, you already have an iPhone which is working so well, but since the company launched the new one, the new model, so you want to go for that as well. There is no need, but you desire, and your desire is to such a great extent that you cannot listen to anybody who is trying to give you a justified reason that this is not needed, and you're ready to do anything to just have that. That is wrong. That is what the nature of fire is. Fire doesn't stop at all right, it just keeps on moving and just keeps on taking everything in. Why? Because it is greedy. All right, it needs more. Greed is what? When you wish for more, when you just keep on asking for more and more for yourself, and you're not thinking about someone else. All right, everybody, for example, if there is someone who is very much hungry right in front of you, but you have got all the delicacies right in front of you, all your favorite food, like you have cake, you have pastries, you have pizza and whatnot. All right, but there is a person who is dying out of hunger. You're not paying attention towards him. Why? Because you want to eat the entire food on your own. You don't care about the other person. That is what your extreme desire is. That is what the nature of fire is. That fire wants everything for its own. All right, it always keeps on asking for more and never listens to anything else. All right, yes, everyone, are you all understanding this? Right, everyone? Yes, that's right, Jai Kishan, right? Yes, everyone, is it making sense to each one of you, right? Yeah, I will, Muskan. Similarly, guys, I symbolizes hatred and indifference. What is indifference, guys? When it doesn't matter to you, when it doesn't make any, like anything, I mean, it doesn't make any sense to you, whatever is happening to someone else. And hatred is hate, that you're not loving someone, instead, you're hating the people around you. Now, students, let me give you an example. For example, there's a very cold water, all right, like it is extremely cold that you just cannot bear the coldness, and you, if your hand is immersed into it, or the very tip of your finger, or just one finger is immersed into that extreme cold water, your finger, it would actually become numb for few minutes. I would say you will not feel anything on that finger. That is the nature of hatred. Okay, when you hate someone, you don't feel anything because your emotions, they get so numb, right? What do you mean by numb? Numb means that you don't feel anything. All right, you become neutral towards it. So that is the thing, that ice here is showing the nature of hatred, and that nothing is happening to you because you are not able to feel it. That is what hatred does. Similar it has been, I mean, that is why it has been compared with ice. Okay, so in the post World War era, these emotions were predominant among people, nations, and governments. So, students, these things, they were happening. I mean, when the poet, this is what I told you, that we can actually relate with what the poet said, that he belonged to what? He belonged to an era, I mean, that he used to write about the locale. So that means it was a time, it was after the World War time, all right, and people, they were already into themselves because they had lost like too much of their lives, okay, as in too much of their belongings. All right, so they wanted more and more. Nobody was caring about anyone else. All right, and that is the reason that Robert Frost has written this very particular poem, thinking that people, they are becoming so different towards each other. They do not care for each other, they do not love each other, and if this would keep on happening, then this is really going to end the world. Because if there would be no life on earth, if people, they would just don't care about each other, this would ultimately result in what? Death, because that is the ultimate reality. That is like all these very particular features like hatred, the greed, the indifference, and extreme desires, it was a result of the world war, and that was already happening. Predominant means that was already prevailing, that was already in existence, that was already existing, all right, among people, among nations, and among the governments as well, because everything was in a complete destroyed mood. Okay, everyone, I hope that was clear to each one of you guys, right? I hope that's clear, everyone. Yes, predominant means that it was pre-existing, it was already in existence. All right, Jay Kishan, the class would be taking next time for dust of snow. All right, everyone. Hi, Ayushi. Hello. That's great. I hope that you're having good time in your 11th standard. Hi, Pushpak. Hello. Now, students, we are moving to the very first stanza. Listen to me very carefully. All right. See, some say the world will end in fire. Some say in ice. From what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. So, students, this is a quatrain. What is quatrain? When a stanza is written in just 4 lines. All right. That is what quatrain is. Now we see the poem, it can be considered as an eschatological production. What do you mean by eschatological production? It basically means relating to death. All right, so now here this very particular poem is actually related to that, because it is talking about what? It is talking about your destruction. Okay, so the speaker believes that there are only two ways that world will, I mean, the that will lead to the end of the world. One is fire and the other is ice, which is very clear, guys. See, now here the poet is talking about, like, whatever he is talking about, that's going in his mind, all right, and nowhere else. Now he is thinking that the world is going to end only in two ways. And what are those two ways? See, one way is like whether it would end in fire, the other is ice. This is what I explained to you all. Now, students, it is really ironic that the poet has used a simple tone to talk about destruction, all right, and he uses the element fire to symbolize mankind's uncontrollable desires, greed, anger, and lust for power. So, students, here the thing is that it is ironic. What is ironic, guys? When you actually mean to say something else, but you are saying all like very different thing. For example, if I say, like, somebody asks me like, how am I looking, all right, and the person himself is saying, I think I'm not looking good, though the person is looking amazing, right, like very beautiful, but still he or she is saying that I think I'm not looking good, this doesn't suit me, then I can be a bit ironic in saying, yes, you're not looking good, you're not at all looking good, all right. So see my tone, I am bit ironic here, because she is actually looking very, very smart. And besides that, like, despite the fact that you're looking beautiful, you are saying that no, I'm not looking beautiful, then I become ironic. So I meant to say what? I meant to say that yes, you're looking beautiful, but what did I say? I say no, you're not looking beautiful. So ironic is this, okay, when we are not saying actually what we want to say. So here we see that the poet, he could have used difficult language, he could have used something very major and different, right? But he used what? He used very, very, very simple language in order to reflect a very deeper meaning. So he didn't do anything straight, instead he did it quite indirectly by using simple words for a very major thing, all right, for a very important and a big thing, right? Because the end of the world is a big thing, it's not as small or not as simple as the given words, right, everyone? Right, that's right, Jai Kishan, right? Yes. Is it making sense to everybody out there? So, students, now fire has been used in this very particular poem in order to show what? In order to show mankind's, that is human, all right, humans uncontrolled, that is something that cannot be controlled, all right, desires, greed, greed as in when you want more and more, all right, anger when you are completely in angry moods, okay, And lust for power. Lust means that you have an extreme and deadly desire for having more and more power. All right, because as I told you, it was a time when what was actually happening. It was a time of your post world war era, right? So a lot of things were being destroyed, and people, they needed some kind of what, they needed some kind of your we can say some kind of like power. Like nations, they need powers, people, they needed power. All right, now moving ahead. Okay, so we see, just like fire, if these are not tamed, okay, now all these emotions of humans, if they are not tamed as in control, they become uncontrollable. All right, and they spread very fast, destroying everything on its way. So fire does it like this only, like it destroys everything that's coming in its way, right everybody? And the poem, students, make sure that you guys again understand it so well. It was written, the poem was written just after World War One, which was an outcome of men's lust for power and had caused immense destruction. See students, like World War One, what was it all about? It was more about power, it was more about having strength. All right, it was more about winning, like winning oneself, like everybody, I mean, one wanted to win over the other. So that means, again, what do we see, that World War One is the very clear example of the fact that more, like wanting for more results in only destruction, because a lot of people died, right? A lot of destruction had taken place then. So that means, if you want more, if you want like if you have desire for power, money and fame, definitely you are going to die one day, and the world is going to end in fire, because these desires, they are so very much fiery in nature. Okay, so the speaker claims that he has experienced desire and its effects. Still, he would like to be on the side of people who believe that fire will destroy the world. So you say here, for what I have tasted of desire. What does it mean, guys? I have tasted of desire. So that means the poet is talking about the fact that at some point in his life, he must also had some sort of extreme desire, that he didn't pay attention to the other humans around him. That is why he think that definitely this world is going to end in fire, because desires, they are uncontrolled. Though we are not being told that what did he desire for, but we are being told that he had tasted desire, as in that he also had some desire which was uncontrollable, and on the basis of that desire, he can actually say that he just cannot favor, sorry, he wants to favor fire. That is, favor fire means that he is saying that he is agreeing to the fact the world would end in fire. Right everyone, clear? So students, there are certain literary devices which have been used here. Rhyming scheme is important, people. Rhyming scheme is A B A A B C B C B. Learn it, okay? This is important, guys. All right everyone, is it making sense to each one of you? Yes. Is it making sense? Now students, see here, the thing is, first one is imagery. All right, second is alliteration, third is assonance. Imagery is like visual imagery, for example, which is created by the poet. For example, if I'm talking about the fire, you guys may imagine it. That is what an imagery is. All right, you can see the like fire as well as ice engulfing the whole world and bringing an end to it. That is the fire and ice, they are taking the whole world in, and everybody is dying. We can imagine that. That is imagery. All right, alliteration is when you see the occurrence of the same letter or sound at the beginning of adjacent or closely connected words. For example, you see here, some say favor fire. So you see this consonant sound at the beginning of the words, and they are close to each other. All right, and assonance is what, guys, when we see the repetition of vowel sounds in the same line. Remember it, okay? This is not same as alliteration. Alliteration is what? It is the occurrence of the same letter or sound at the beginning of words. Okay, for example, you see here, some say favor fire. Assonance is that it can come in between also, the vowel sound. Here you see whole with those, O is there, who favor, O here. Here also who, O, and who favor fire. So this is assonance. And enjambment, guys, this is when it is the continuation of a sentence without a pause. All right, when there is no pause and this is just going on and on. For example, if you say, some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. So there is no punctuation in between in the change of the lines. And anaphora, guys, it is a repetition of a word or phrase at the beginning of a successive clause. Successive means the next clause, that is the next set of words. So you see here, some say the world will end in fire. So what do you see here? Some say. Now this is the repetition of the word, or we can say the phrase here. Then in the next also it is some say in eyes. So this is the repetition. That is what your anaphora is. Alright students, just go through the critical analysis so clearly. This is so easy. I've talked about here what? The nuclear disaster and climatic change in the context of fire and ice. All right, this is basically talking about the disagreement in society. All right, the poem is talking about the disagreement in society in the context of the end of the world. Disagreement means that they do not agree on one thing. Like some agree on the fact that the world is going to end in fire, while some agree on the fact that the world is going to end in ice. Okay, so Frost has used these things so cleverly in a form of metaphoric decision. What is metaphoric decision, guys? Metaphoric decision means that he has used them as indirect references. Fire and ice are not used in the very literal context, but they are the indirect references for the human's character. That is actually giving us different kinds of interpretations. Okay, everybody, so now we know that they suggest what they are suggesting, the apocalypse. All right, that the world can't end in ice and fire at the same time. So it is talking about infinite damage, all right, and they are the exact metaphors for harbingers of death. That is, they would lead to the death, the destruction of the world. All right, now the stanza 2 for everybody out there. Hi, good afternoon, there. See here, but if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction, ice is also great and would suffice. So here we see the speaker believes that fire will be the cause of destruction, but he also believes that they can, if there is a second chance, okay? Like if it had to perish twice. Perish basically mean die, and twice means second time. So here it is talking about the death again for the second time. So now the poet is saying if the world had to end twice, that is the second time, if apocalypse had to take place twice, then it can be given a second chance, because it is saying that ice is also sufficient, because it symbolizes what? It symbolizes your hatred, your cold-heartedness and indifference that numb our minds. I explained this to you all in the very beginning. All right, now it says people would become cruel and destroy each other. So it is saying, like the poet here is saying, if the world had to end here, end twice, he says he knows very well of hate as well. All right, he's aware of the very power of hatred, which is compared to your eyes, to say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice. Suffice means enough. All right, so he is saying that it can end world too. Ice is also capable of ending world too, because there's a lot of hatred among people, and if they are filled with hatred, they don't feel anything towards each other, and that is why the world would be ended. So what is literary device, guys? Symbolism. As I told you, fire is a symbol of desire, greed, avarice and lust, and fire is like, if we fail in taming our desires, that is controlling our desires, they can cause irreparable damages, that is damages that cannot be controlled. Okay, so ice on the other hand would do what? Like it will make you cruel, it will make you intolerant, it will make you insensitive and will fill you with hatred. All right, everybody, now metaphor, guys, metaphor has been used here, which is actually a figure of speech. As I told you, it is not literally applicable. Instead here it has been used as what? It is used as an indirect reference. All right, and paradox, what do you mean by paradox? Paradox is when two opposites are joined together. All right, like for example, if it had to end twice, so nothing can be ended twice. If a person is dead, a person is dead. All right, you cannot make the person dead again. So this is a paradox. Paradox is when two opposites are used together. So students, here the thing is, again I've given the critical analysis, which is talking about the fact that ice is also a concern in the mind of the poet, that fire and ice, they can both destroy the world. All right, and he's saying that, for example, what do you see? Fire is a burning flame and a chilling sheen of ice. Like they are two different things, but they represent hatred. Ice is showing hatred because that numbs your emotions towards other. All right, and now the poet talked about the potential, the ability of ice, which is very much enough, would suffice. The term is actually showing the capability of ice in numbing, in just destroying the entire world. All right, everybody, so this is now the very schedule of your Special classes on 24th. Today I'm going to deal with NCERT questions of the thief story, and on 26th I'm going to do the analysis of the poem, which is a tiger in the zoo, and on 28th I'm going to deal with the major questions of a tiger in the zoo. Right at 8 o'clock, use my code PSH10 people. All right, take the subscription very carefully and make sure that you subscribe the channel, like the video, share it with your friends, and thank you so much everybody for attending the very session. All right, people, take care. Bye bye. Have a very safe day.